My jealous mom couldn't accept I got pregnant before her favorite daughter, so she brought my ex. What he exposed made her regret everything. I call her Jackie. It's an odd thing, really, because you'd expect me to call her mom, like most kids do with their mothers, but she's always been adamant that Leah, my half-sister, and I never address her that way. I guess in her mind, mom sounds like a title for someone older, and she has just never been able to see herself that way. She's told us more than once that she feels too young to ever be called a mother, as if that title might weigh her down. So it's always just been Jackie, like we're neighbors or friends rather than her children. Jackie was in high school when she got pregnant with me, and the pregnancy wasn't something she or my biological father, Avery, had planned. In fact, she always refers to it as an accident, a word that's weighed heavily on me over the years, whether she realizes it or not. Jackie and my dad were high school sweethearts, but they were young, reckless, and not exactly thinking about consequences when they ended up in this situation. When my dad found out Jackie was pregnant, he made it clear that he wasn't interested in being a partner to her. He agreed to pay child support and to only be there for me, but that was where his involvement ended. He wasn't going to play house with her or continue on with their relationship. This crushed Jackie, though she doesn't always admit it. She had expectations, however naive, of what their relationship might be like, and maybe, in some small part, she believed that having a baby would make things more serious between them. But my dad didn't see it that way, and the reality of that shattered her. When I was born, things between Jackie and my dad didn't improve. In fact, if anything, they got worse. Jackie couldn't let go of the resentment she held towards him, and it showed every time he came around. My dad would come to pick me up for visits or just stop by to spend time with me. But instead of keeping things civil, Jackie would almost always pick a fight with him. She seemed to look for reasons to argue, even when there wasn't anything to argue about. She would lash out at him, sometimes over small, petty things and other times over bigger issues, mostly centered around her anger that he didn't want to be with her. I was too young to understand what was really happening at the time, so I didn't question her whenever she spoke poorly about my dad. Jackie would say things like, "He doesn't love you enough to marry me," or "Fathers are supposed to take care of their families, and your dad's just a deadbeat." As a child, I didn't have the capacity to process what she was really saying, but as I got older, I started to see things differently. I began to realize that my dad wasn't the villain Jackie made him out to be. In fact, he was the opposite. He was consistent. He visited me every weekend, without fail, always on time and always eager to spend time with me. He never missed a child support payment, and I could tell that he genuinely loved being around me. I could feel that he cared about me, even if he and Jackie didn't have a good relationship. The more I grew up, the more I understood that my dad was doing everything he could to be a good father, despite the circumstances. He wasn't perfect, but he certainly wasn't the deadbeat Jackie claimed he was. He was there for me, and that's what mattered most.